There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here.
Hey, Mark Shepard here, and this is the Better Man Project. I believe it is day number 11, might be number 12, I don't know. But it'll be numbered correctly so that I can remember which one it was when it was. But today I want to talk about one thing and one thing only. This idea that you pay yourself first. Because if you wait to pay yourself until after all your credit cards are paid and the phone bill and all this stuff is paid, there's never any left over. So you have to take first. And you can take 10%, you can take 5%, whatever you can do consistently. Maybe you take, I find doing it daily. So if I make $500 in a day, I'll take $50 and I will buy Litecoin or Ethereum or Bitcoin with it on the Coinbase exchange. It's really easy. And it's when I can swing it, when the markets seem like it's in a good idea, I will literally dollar cost average, or what I call dollar cost averaging, where just take $20 every day, just $20. Because I often don't miss $20. My brain can't keep track of it, and we want that, but we want it in our favor. It's like, I don't know, you probably have some little things that come out on your credit card or your debit card every month, and you don't notice it because they're small. Oh, something called taxes taking out of every one of your paycheck, but you don't notice it because you never get it, right? You have to take some percentage, something consistent, and you got to set that aside. Even if it's the change from every dollar bill that you break, right? At one point, I had a can of change that I'd kind of forgotten about. I wrapped that up, took it to the bank, put it in the bank, and put it into Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin at Coinbase. So for me, some of you have asked me, what's a good way to get started in the financial thing? What's a good way to get started making my own luck? What's the best way to get started creating my own financial solid rock foundation for my future? Whatever age you are, and I'm going to recommend my 90-year-old dad start doing this as well. Because you can make a lot of money fast in the crypto world if you know what you're doing, but you can't do it if you don't have anything to do it with, and it has to be money that you can afford to lose because you're going to learn. You're going to have a learning curve. And the only way you're going to get that is to pay yourself first. And then again, once you get something together, I'm not suggesting you take all of it and buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, or Dash. I'm not suggesting that. What I'm suggesting is you take a percentage of that and start with it if you want to. Again, this is all up to you. There's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, which one of my mentors recommended, and I'd heard of it, and I read it years and years ago, but I didn't quite get it. And the main thrust of that book, and I highly suggest you get that book and you read it and you begin to fill your mind with great ideas about your prosperity, about your strength, about your persistence, about your whatever it is you're trying to develop. And I suggest you work on developing all of them every day, a little bit here and there. But the step number one, pay yourself first. And for me, for years, paying myself first meant I indulged in buying books. And books have been one of my greatest mentors and my greatest coaches, because I go deep with certain books and I reread them and I underline and I put stuff into practice. I try things out. And that was one way I paid myself first, even when at one point I was homeless. All right? I was literally squatting in a building that was just awaiting foreclosure. And I'm forever grateful to the man who let me stay there. And one of the very key things that he told me was his mentor, and this is a man who at one point owned the largest mortgage company in Connecticut, a brilliant man, a kind man, and yet a man very successful in business. And his mentor told him, always set aside 10%, pay yourself first. How many of you guys do this yet? I don't know if you do or not, but particularly if you're new in the space, if you're young in life, start as soon as possible. You won't miss it. That's the weird thing about it is if it's gone from your wallet, like right now, I think I have 120 bucks in my wallet. Sometimes I'll just take that extra 20 and I'll put it in a cup, right? And then just keep putting those little extra 20s. Anytime I have an extra 20, I'll just put it in a cup. And then a couple of weeks later, I look at the cup and there's a couple $100 in there, right? And I use that to pay myself first. And lately, it has done very well by me because my portfolio is growing. And of course, the markets are all up today and they won't always be up every day. However, buy low, sell high. More and more people are coming into the crypto space at the same time that you are here. You're here before them. Start working on yourself, start working on your money, and start believing that what you want, the better future that you have longed for, the better future that seemed so impossible for so long, is actually possible. You got to work on yourself, and you also have to learn and pay attention to what's going on in the world. Not listening to the news, but paying attention to the revolution that's happening right now in the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dash. And now we have Bitcoin Cash. And there's Quantum and Omise Go. And there's all kinds of different things. So, wherever you are, I don't know if you found me through the Better Man Project or you found the Better Man Project through my Morning Cryptos, but check out the Morning Cryptos if you like this. If any of this is helpful, I'm trying to give you nuggets and I'm also trying to give you full course dinners. I'm trying to kind of show you what's possible here. So that's what I'm doing. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have a friend, go ahead and share this with a friend. If you want to learn how to make friends, keep watching because I teach men, introverts, shy guys, guys who have big hearts but somehow never get the girl. I teach you guys how to get what you want out of life, how to get what you want, when you want, where you want, how you want, with whom you want, when you want. The Better Man Project. Do what you do better. All right, so I'll see you in the next one. Go ahead and start the music. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first.
There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here.